Okay, we will continue with Hashem. Likutey Moharan Tanina, Inyan, the second Chelek, Torah Zayin. We are, this is the last little shtickle of Seif Yud. We're going to be, it's Hashem, finish this particular Inyan. So, we said that this Inyan, that there's Makifim, and then there is Pnimi, and when a person, Pnimi is the knowledge that you have already. Makifin is the knowledge you know of, but you don't have it yet. You know about it, but you still don't have it. And when a person lets out his or pnimi, whatever it is that he does know, he teaches this to others, that brings about the entrance of new makifin for him. So there is, for every person, there is, there's a relative, pnimi and makif. Whatever it is you don't know, for you, it is makif. You know about it, but you don't know yet. For you, it's makif, but there's somebody who knows more than you. For him, what you consider makif, for him, sometimes it's pnimi, sometimes it's below pnimi. It's like a common knowledge, and it's like but there is a bechina of true makifin. This is the level which is beyond time. Makifin means a seichel. I don't even know what's the English word for seichel. But there is I don't know there is no English word for that. I tried searching, what is the English for seichel? I mean, you can say, knowledge, that's not seichel. Sense in relation, like it's common sense. So sense, but not common. It's like I don't know, maybe. Anyhow, but we're talking about intellectual hasagas, levels of hasaga, which are beyond time. What does it mean beyond time? It means that they are so deep and so profound that there's not enough time from the creation of the world to the end of time. There's not enough time to explain them. They're so profound. And the tzaddik ador, the chacham ador, the sage of the generation, he has the asog of those makifim, and even by him, there are certain things that he should, certain makifim that he should let in, and certain makifim that even for him, should make sure not to find out what they are, because it'll get him into trouble. It'll get him to a grade, situation where it's above his pay grade, as it were. So, and we saw by Moshe Rabbeinu, we said the story of Rabbi Akiva. Moshe Rabbeinu said, about Rabbi Akiva, said to Kodesh Baruch Hu, let the Torah be given by Rabbi Akiva. Kodesh Baruch Hu told him, "Shtoik, be quiet, kachal b'machshava." That is what was raised in the thought, in the level of thought. Al pi pshat, it means Kodesh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, listen, this is beyond you. Don't ask too many questions about this. This is, this is my domain. Leave to Caesar what's Caesar, But Rabbeinu explained that being that when you teach somebody, divrei kodesh and Yerushalayim, what happens is it brings makifin in. So what happened was that Moshe Rabbeinu asked the question, Immediately he understood the answer. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu told him, be quiet. Then he told him, this is what I decided to do. But he already asked the question. What are you asking? Be quiet. Tell him, this is what I decided to do. Okay, this is not your domain. But he told him, be quiet. But be quiet. He already asked the question. So Rabbeinu explains that when Moshe Rabbeinu asked the question, let the Torah be given Moshe Rabbeinu. Why by Rebbe Akiva? Why through me? He's so much greater than me. Immediately understood what the answer is. Because don't say what the teretz is. Don't say what the answer is. Because if you will, then there'll be makifin, new makifin coming into your mind, which you won't be able to deal with. Now, these makifin, the sphere sakesa, they are the source of everything. The source of everything, the makifin. The sphere sakesa, this is the rotzin. It also says in Likutey Tefillah, says, is the aura elyon, the rotzana elyon, the supernal will, the supernal volition. All the wills that we have in this world is just a trickle down of the rotzana elyon. And the rotzana elyon, so we learned that there is yadayim b'yam ha'chokhmah. It has to go through the mechanism all the way that it comes down to us, including, our parnasa and everything else. So it says, the yadayim sheb'yam ha'chokhmah, there's a chokhmah, which is the level of understanding, and in there the chokhmah hints about things which are beyond the things that he's saying. And either hints with it, usually what is it done? When you hint something with your hands, you say, there's certain things you do with your hands which explain what it is you're saying with your words, which is beyond what the words are saying. So this is what Rabbeinu uses as a euphemism for, bringing the makifim in. The way that the makifim bring in is yad yamin and yad small, is when the tzaddik, we said the tzaddik has to have the ability to teach those that are of high madrega that they haven't even started, and to teach those that are really, on the low madrega, that Koshboch is with them. He has to have this. So one of them is the soga of ben, of son, and one of them is the soga of talmid, the soga of pupil. The son has the close proximity to his father. He's mamash a continuation of his father. Yes, he feels free to come to him, to talk to him, and he sees his father. His father can be a great tzaddik, but he sees his father, wearing slippers. I mean, it's like a talmid doesn't see that. Talmid is so the son has heimishkeit. The talmid doesn't have that. The talmid has this tremendous awe from the Rebbe, from the tzaddik. So the shleimus is when you combine the saga of Ben with the saga of Talmud. You give some of the perspective of Talmud. It's the son that Ben also will have Yira. Because otherwise, that's my father. What do you want? It's no problem. On the other side, on the other hand, the Talmud also have to have a shtickl heimishkeit, because otherwise, if I won't be able to move from Yira. Needs to have a shtickl heimishkeit. It's one of the things that is so important, for us to know as blessed the Hasidim. People many times they wonder, who should I get close to? Who should be? I mean, we know that the Rebbe is the Rebbe, but you have to get through the Rebbe's Talmidim. You have to find somebody who will give it to you, who put it into your kelim. The question is like, who is the appropriate, who in this generation should come close to? Usually this becomes kind of almost like a contest. My Rebbe, wow, forget about it. Your Rebbe, If you really know what's good, you'd come close to my Rebbe. But the answer is that people forget that the tzaddik is here. The Rabbeinu is here. Really, there has to be three conditions. To who it is that you should come close to. Who should you get the Rebbe's limud? Who is the one? I mean, the truth be told is that everybody would love to have somebody to take the responsibility for him. Just somebody, you ask him, he tells you, that's it. I'm doing what I'm told, and people like that. That's the reason why cults, work and all kinds of stuff. People love them, because people are in quagmire many, many times. They have doubts. Do this or do that, whatever. And if you have somebody that you can ask will clarify things for you, I mean, that's the best thing possible. What could be better than that? But not everybody is fit to be a leader. Not everybody is fit to tell you what to do. So who should you go to? Who should you come close to? So the answer is anybody who fulfills three basic conditions. First, you should be somebody who is sanctified, keeps halacha. That's the first of all. The second condition, you should be a Talmud of Rabbeinu. You should realize, you should recognize that Rabbeinu is the tzaddik amongst tzaddikim. And that don't get confused from the fact that people accept it or don't accept it. Today is not that much of a problem. Yesterday used to be worse than that. But you should know that, the Rabbeinu is the tzaddik ador until Mashiach will come. And you should be a Breslover, you should listen to what Rabbeinu says, whatever it is. And the third condition is you should be able to have a sprach with him. Where you're able to talk to him. Some kind of you need a... Because if you take any two of these three conditions, is not enough. It's just somebody is Kodesh and Goy according to Halacha. And you can talk to him, but he's not a Breslover. You can get Rabbeinu from him. Somebody who has Baruch Hashem, is Kodesh and Shomer Halacha, and he is close to Rabbeinu, he's a Breslover, but you can't talk to him. I mean, you come to him and either, it's a different mentality or you get frozen from fear or whatever, but so he's not for you. If you only have, Breslover and you can talk to, but he's not Kodesh, I mean, he has enough problems on his, all of his own to fix before he can start teaching you. So you need all these three things. But we see that one of the conditions should be able to talk to him. Should be able to put things on the table and tell him, what can you do? I mean, so that's why there has to be a conglomeration of Ben and Talmud, the son and the student, together. And that ability to combine the Ben and Talmud, it's a tikkun that the tzaddik does. The tzaddik has this ability to show the high ones having started, to show the Ben having started here. And he has to be able to show the low one, the local art, because Baruch is with you, by combining them both, by the teaching that he teaches, this one and that type and that type, he's getting out his pnimi, and he's getting the ashpah from the makifin. The parnotza from the makifin comes down, goes down to the malchus. The Malchus state is ground to become Parnasa. And what happens is that when the person eats B'Kedusha, he's able to decipher the primordial message, which is in the Parnasa. That's the initial Ratzon. The entire world was created in order for you to have Ritzoinus to come close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's it.
What is the Harasa Ratzon again?
Harasa Ratzon is Kadosh Baruch Hu created this world in order for us to want to come close to Him.
That's what you get when you eat properly.
So this is the thing that comes already from the Kesser. Over there, it is pure energy, as it were. It's pure Ratzon.
Come close to Hashem.
Yeah. So when it goes down to the Parnasa, usually people, they eat Parnasa, they eat food or whatever it is, I like sushi, I like this, whatever it is. That's the way I like things. But originally, it's not made for that. We're getting food, we're getting whatever our sustenance, whatever you need. Why? So we can serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the tachlis of everything, right? That's the goal. So if I'm being swayed by the Gashmias, this world is mostly bad and a little bit of good. Olam Atzilus is Kula Elakus Kula Kurdish. In Olam Abriya is Ruva Toiv and a little bit of and Olam Yetzir is like half and half. Olam Asiyah, this our world, mostly bad and a little bit of good. So we have Bechira. Now what happens is that when a person,
is bad?
Yeah.
This world?
Yeah. Mostly bad, dark, and a little bit of good. Yeah. When you light up...
Isn't everything good, ultimately?
Said, but what I'm saying is, everything is good ultimately. That's what the Yetzirah in the future, Kodesh Baruch is going to shech the Yetzirah. You know what I'm saying? The God, the Chad Gadya, right? You say, shech the Yetzirah. When they shech the Yetzirah, kill him. When they shech him. Because the Yetzirah was created for Kodesh Baruch Hu. It was created in order to bring you, to fight him and get closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu. So the Yetzirah itself, Lasid Lava, is going to be shechted. Shechting is something that you take. Now we learn Maseches Chulin, right? That you have to take a behemoth and you have to shecht it. It becomes kosher. Before that, you're not allowed to eat this ever menachai. All horrible inyanim, right? So yet Lasid Lava Yetzirah is also going to help you. Also going to use it. In this world, it helps us by hiding the Kedusha. And we're supposed to fight it. You want to become a champion? You got to run. You got to lift weights. You can't say, okay, I'm going to sit, have somebody drive me and I want to be a champion. Thank you very much. Everybody has to be a champion. You got to work, right? That's what. But inside the Ratzon HaElyon, the Ratzon HaElyon itself is pure ask to get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu, want to get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu, want to learn Torah, want to daven, want to keep your eyes. This is the pure Ratzon. Now this already trickles down into the Parnasa, into food, because you're eating to Sarah Kodesh Baruch Hu. You're very close to Sarah Kodesh Baruch Hu. You have a house, so you can live in Sarah Kodesh Baruch Hu. But being that this world hides it from us, and we get swayed, and we say, something, it tastes a little entrecote, I'm already eating me. Don't blame me, right? When a person being swayed, so he can just eat, only taste his food. This is the realm of the Eino Yehudi. This is the realm. This is, it's gourmet, and you do this and you do that, and you cook it this way, and you cook it that way, and this is how you do it. And you go to a restaurant and they charge, hundreds of euros for just a little plate with a little, little thing in the middle with some sauce on it. 3 Michelin star. It's the world. They're from this world. They belong to this world. So this is by them. This is a hefza. This is by us. If we are being dragged after the Gashmias. So all we taste is Gashmias. But when he eats Mekdusha, when the money was earned Mekdusha without Feirlishtik, without lying, without Gezel, without, Chemda, without coveting, when the money is clean and the food is clean, and the person eats Mekdusha in order to serve Kodesh Baruch Hu, and not as a glutton to serve his Tavis Achila, he's able to get, when he eats the food releases, he's processing the food with such purity that besides releasing the physical energy to live, he also releases the primordial will that drives the whole train. It pushes the whole mechutl. And this is why b'shat achila, properly, a person can get such such tremendous urges to come close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Rabbeinu says you can get to the point when you don't even know what you want anymore. You're just filled with kisuf and Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's by the way, it's very common. About tshuva comes, discovers the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Many of us have been there, visited that thing. About tshuva can go to the beach and just scream to Kodesh Baruch Hu all day long. You put on film. What are you talking about? Just that's a rotzah. What are you talking about? No, how can you get tiny to film? Just pure rotzah. You have to, you have to be mitzamtzem. You have to constrict it. You have to constrict it, to such a way, create the meter slowly. So you have to kalim properly. Otherwise, it just rupture. It's just like total. So inside the food, when a person eats properly, he's able to taste the primordial rotzon. And the thing is, the only thing that can drive a person closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu is if he wants to. If you don't want to, nothing's going to help. Rabbeinu says, that being close to the tzaddik in and on itself is very good, even if you don't receive anything from him. But this is only if you want. Only if you want. Rabbeinu says, I can help anybody as long as he comes to me and he tells me what he's lacking, what he's missing. I have a problem with my eyes, I have a problem with my panos, I have a problem with this, whatever it is I have a problem with, tell the tzaddik, he can help you that. But if you don't tell him what you want, you don't want anything, I'm fine, no problem. I came here, Uman is a nice trip, whatever. It's a nice trip, or whatever. Come with sinus. That's the main thing that Moshe Rabbeinu said. At kedei kach, he said that, we said it at least once or twice before, whatever it is that you want, vis-a-vis what Kodesh Baruch Hu is, there isn't anyone who can say, I'm serving Hashem. Come on. I'm saying here, I'll take this. See this? I'm fighting around. What can I say serving Hashem? It's a joke. It says vis-a-vis what the Torah is, who can say he's learning Torah? So this is only what? We want. While wanting, we learn, we daven, we do whatever we do. But whatever it is that we do, in actuality, it's a joke. Compared to what Kodesh Baruch Hu, it's compared to what Torah is. But we want to. And the deed is the proof positive, that's the pudding, that proves that you really want. You can't do it if you don't want. The hardest thing in the world to do is to do something if you don't want to. It's easier to lift I don't know, 500 pounds than lifting a feather if you don't want to, right? So the thing is that we're trying to do is to receive this Ratzah. So this we said, this is when we said, Al Pi Remez, Chazal said, you don't speak during eating. In the time of Suda, when you're eating, that's the time that the Ratzon shines. That's the glowing of the Makifin. The Makifin, this is the Haras HaRatzon, Ratzon Elyon. Shem Pchina Shtika. It's Pchina Shtika. Why? Because there's not enough time on earth before or after to ever explain them. It's Pchina silence. That's what it says. You know what's the proper praise to Kadosh Baruch Hu? Is silence. Whatever it is you're going to say, you're lowering the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're making him smaller than what he is. The closest we can get to praise the Kadosh Baruch Hu is by not saying anything. You know, like dumbfounded. It's like, I have no words. That's the Eretz HaMakifin. The Ratzon that until you don't know, זה בחינה שתיקה או בחינס, as we say, הקדוש ברוך הוא said to Moshe, שתוק, כך עלה במחשבה. Be quiet. Why? Because now we're dealing in the olam HaMachshava, which is beyond, this is the Makifin. You can't talk now. As we said before, sometimes the Chacham needs to be quiet and not to reveal. And so he's hinting to his Talmidim about Rasa Makifin, that he was Zecher to him. And he has to be quiet because there are certain things that he himself should not get to know. And these hints that he's hinting to his Talmidim, these are the Adayim Sheyam HaChochma. These are the hands in the Yam HaChochma. Now from these hands, that's the intermediary, that's the interface that brings the Parnasa to the Malchus. And it is Dafka, the time of eating of the Suda, these Makifim shine. These Makifim are Bchina Shtiko. That's what I said, during eating, you're not allowed to talk. Besides the Pshat, don't eat because Chas v'chila, the food can go into the windpipe, but besides that, Al Pi Remez, this is the Pshat. So we basically explained that that little summation of the Torah until now. After we explained the main shleimus of a person is to have children and talmidim and put them das in them, das and seichel of human beings, which means that they have to get closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's a tachlis. And by being oisek, by being busy, we're putting das in the talmidim, a person gets in him the lights of Eretz HaMakifin, the lights of the Makifin. And he understands something that he didn't understand until now. And Chacham Ador is to such Makifin that are beyond time. They're beyond the level of time. That's Pchinas Shashua Olam Haba. That's the joy and rejoicing of Olam Haba. We spoke about it with great length. And this Chacham has to show Darei Ma'ala, those of great level, that they haven't even started yet. Ma chamisha ma pishpashta. So go from what? You haven't done anything yet. That they don't know anything about the knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so as to drive them to start all over again and refresh themselves, restart and start all over. And this is a soga of a ben that we said. And to show the Darei Mata, those who live in the dwellers of the earth, as it said, and this is a soga satalmid. That's the soga of a talmid, of a student. He doesn't know, and he has to know now. And by combining that, teaching this one that thing, and these one he teaches this thing together, by combining it, ben and together, this is how the tzaddik is mamshich the aura from the makifin. And the tzaddik has to know, Chacham has to know which makifin to bring into himself and which not. And he needs to show a little bit of the sun, a little bit as we said before, that's not go for Talmud. The Talmud, so they'll have hero. And he says, when he does that, somebody, through the Klolis of Ben Talmud, each person by himself, because it's not only the tzaddik needs to do it. You need to do it by yourself. You need to know your Hayim Shel Kadosh Baruch Hu. But doesn't mean Kadosh Baruch Hu is your friend. Kadosh Baruch Hu is your melech. I mean, you should be open and put everything on the table, but with great amount of derech eretz in Europe. It's very common, that somebody just new, just came. Kadosh Baruch Hu is he's a buddy. Kadosh Baruch Hu is not your buddy. Okay, so Abchinas Ben, you have to show speak of the Talmud. Hey, whoa. Somebody who can do that, or combine both the Talmud and he's learning Torah, and he has the soga for the Torah is, and get him Haimish too. If he's such a person, he's able to taste Shas Achila from the illumination of the supernal Rotzim. That he will crave HaKadosh Baruch Hu with such rapture that he wouldn't even know what to do with himself. In the next Sa'id, Rabbeinu shows how all this is included in Yom Chanukah. But we'll devote a little bit of the time to speak about Inyon of the Yom. We are holding in the 9 days, and next week going to be Tisha B'Av in Hashem. And when you speak to a regular person, you ask him, do you want Beis HaMikdash? Sure. Do you want the Beis HaMikdash to be rebuilt? Of course. You want Mashiach to come? Are you kidding me? Of course. Look at what's happening in the world. Full with trouble, anti-Semitism, and this and that, whatever. So you ask him another question. What if everything would be okay? No problem. You have parnosa, you have shlom bayis, no anti-Semitism, there's peace. Everything is fine. No, what do you need to share? That's a good question. The answer is that we're not lamenting the result of the Churban Habayis. We're lamenting the Churban itself. What do you want from me? I don't know. Maybe I was alive then, but I don't know. Right now, I don't remember. I don't know. The Rebbe speaks about it with great length. Torah Samech Zayin in Chelek Beis, that the Beis HaMikdash, when the Beis HaMikdash was built, the first Beis HaMikdash is akin to the Zohar says that is akin to the right eye, and the second Beis HaMikdash is akin to the left eye. And they said that they are the two klippas of the great Rome and the minor Rome. The first one covers the right eye, and the second one covers the left eye. That's what the Churban Habayis. Beis HaMikdash is called the Einayim. These are the eyes of Am Yisrael. The eyes and the heart of Kadosh Baruch Hu is in the Beis HaMikdash. And 3 times a year, person needs to come to Beis HaMikdash. Shalosh pamim b'shana, yira'eh kol zchurcha, espnei Adon Hashem. 3 times a year, every male has to come and be seen, before Pnei Adon Hashem. The word yira is both yira'eh, yira'eh, that Kadosh Baruch Hu will see you, and both yira'eh, that you will see Kadosh Baruch Hu. How can you say HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Lo reini Adam v'chai. A living person cannot see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How can you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu? The answer is that during the time of Beis HaMikdash, when a person worked on himself, was Mekadosh commensurately with how much was Mekadosh himself, he could get to the level of Nevuah. Nevuah is in of eyes, the level of Ruach HaKodesh and Nevuah. And this is the first Pesach. The second Pesach was a law in Madrega. So the first Pesach was Ayin Yamin, was destroyed by the Babylonians, the descendants of Esau. The second one is the minor Romans, the Romans. The first was the right eye, the main eye, the strong eye. Big Asog, Ruach Nevuah was available then. Second Mitzvah, there was no longer Nevuah. It was Ruach HaKodesh. You have to get Ruach HaKodesh. In Yerushalayim, you come to Beis HaMikdash, you can get Ruach HaKodesh. Rabbeinu says that the same principle, Beis HaMikdash, exists in the Tzaddik Ador. What is Beis HaMikdash? Beis HaMikdash is a building. We take a building, Beis HaMikdash, Vadai, because Baruch was there, Vadai, Karbonis, Akol Tov, Akol Yefez. It's a building. Yeah, it's a building. But what do you do to this building? When you are building this building according to the instruction of Kodesh Baruch Hu, and you bring a Karbonis over there, the Einei Hashem, the eyes of Kodesh Baruch Hu is there. It means that you get the eyes of Kodesh Baruch Hu. And what do you see? You see yourself, the Rebbe says. A person can see himself where he's holding. What is holding me back? Was such a saga in the first Beis HaMikdash that if you had the Daled Minim, they would shine. If they don't shine, it's not kosher. You're this madrega. You're able to tell just by feeling the kedusha in them. Today, the Rebbe says that the main insight, the main sight has to be into yourself. Because a person can go through this world like a daisical, every morning, Tachna. There's a chosin in shul. The chosin could probably pay his mortgage by coming on Monday and Thursday. Collect from everybody. I'll be here with you. You don't have to say Tachna. Yom Kippur. Just don't hit me. Just don't hurt me. Give me a good year. Okay. Yeah, I did this, whatever. Whatever you say. I'm in. It's okay. You count me in. Just don't hurt me. Just let me have my, There's no insight. A person can go through a lifetime or forget. Even if a person has returned his tovim, he's not close to this. There's no Beis HaMikdash. He's not close to the tzaddik. He can worry about things that are not material. They're not relevant, and not worry about things that are relevant. I remember I asked once, it was actually my Rebbe in one of the yeshivas, and he said that Mashiach used to be carve everybody to the Torah. So I said, so why do you need Mashiach? So he said, somebody will learn Torah. Maybe that. I don't want to repeat what he said. Comes to show you. Somebody learning Torah, you'll be totally clueless. Lo ika alimud ala maises. It's made us to bring you, and there's no way we can do that. We're just going in this world blind as bats. The only thing that we have right now is the lamentation on that eyesight that was lost. the Samigdash, the tzaddik that is gone, and therefore the Beis Hamikdash, say Hakadosh Baruch Hu has poured his wrath on stones and lumber, right? It's the Shechina left it long before. The tzaddikim that pass on, for them there's no chisaron. They're shining just as ever before. But what about us? The only thing that is left for us is just to lament the fact that we don't feel, if anything, we don't see. But we don't feel it. Okay, so we lament on that we don't feel. And in and on itself, it's a huge inyan. You know, when I think I told you once before, when I used to live in America, I remember I used to find it almost amusing that in America they have every corner in Borough Park there's a besmedrash with the Rebbe, and the Rebbe has these clothing with the not cufflinks. You're talking about it. With the black and whatever it is with stripes and all kinds and golden buttons and whatever it is, and it's like a yeah. And there's a mikveh in every one, whatever it is. The whole thing is like, and in the besmedrash, okay, so you have a rebbe, you have a besmedrash, and you have minyan and kinyan. Each minyan is like what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Young, get on. So I used to find it like call that Yiddish guy, whatever. What did I know? It's only when I finally came to Eretz Yisrael, I realized the greatness of the Yidden in America. The Gemara says, Mefurish, Kol Adar Be'eretz Yisrael, anybody who lives in Eretz Yisrael is like somebody who has a God. And anybody who lives in Chutz La'aretz is like somebody who doesn't have a God. You don't see anything. In Chutz La'aretz, you don't see anything. So they make Yiddishkeit out of gold buttons. They make Yiddishkeit out of it's stuck with spit. So the whole thing it's manufactured. No matter the fact that they don't get to see a Kodesh Baruch Hu the way we see in Eretz Yisrael, they still manufacture. We know with all kinds of artificial inyan and with this and that. They make tissue, they make this, they make that, whatever it is. All these kind of these movements and whatever they create Yiddishkeit because it's Chutz La'aretz, because they don't see a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Bevadai. Listen, I was stupid. I'm still stupid. That was even more stupid. I thought that only I know. Only I know. Yeah, no. Vadai. The Gdoilim Tzadikim, Bevadai. But what I'm saying, like, the Oilam, basically, when you live in my neighborhood, 1971, whatever it is. There's a rabbi here, there's a rabbi there. In my block alone, there were 3 shuls with 3 rabbis. My block, just here. Okay. I used to find it like, come on, that's not the real McCoy. Yeah, that is the real McCoy. In Chutz La'aretz, that's the way you do it. Even if you don't see, even if you don't feel, you do it. The same thing is over here with Yom Kippur. With Tisha B'Av. We don't feel it while we do it. So how can you lament something that you don't feel? You lament the fact that you don't feel. You manufacture it. You celebrate by Eichel. You go to Kinos. You say together with the Oilam, with the Nigun. Maybe make something up in you. The Zohar Kodesh says that even making the sound of crying, even though you don't feel it, you're not really crying, it wakes up the Rachamim Elyonim. because they know you won. But there's no Beis Hamikdash. I have a hardest time. I don't feel nothing. Chaim. It's cold. Don't worry. There's no way. 9 days. The 3 weeks. This is an amazing time to get close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. An amazing time. By forcing yourself, either you say Tikkun Chatzos, or whatever it is that you say, or you say Likutey Tfilos about this the particular, and you say whatever it is that you can, and you get in. And the main thing is to lament the fact that we lost our eyesight. We don't see anything. We know there's a World Cup going on in America. For those who do know. But Hashem, the impetus is just to get over. Let's get over Tisha B'Av, finish. Come on, let's go. I don't know, Ben Osmanim, go whatever it is. Go to Switzerland. Go whatever. It's just like quick. Come on, and say special dishes for the 9 days. The fish and this and that. Tastes like meat. Take a fish. You go like it's like unbelievable. You can make spaghetti bolognese with tuna fish. There's chef. You do like. Right? Even this, ultimately, and this is what we'll finish. We have a whole big brouhaha about the conscription to the army. Yes, to go, not to go, Haredi, this, that, whatever. And the people, the Tilumi, are really, your brothers are going to go out to war, you're not joining them. And the people who don't know, they haven't got a clue. All as far as they're concerned, we're just like. But the thing is that when you take a look at the real core of what is the main issue over here, it's the fact that the army, the joining the army, is just the very end of the issue. Even if tomorrow the army, everybody will do tshuva shlema, and the Matkal would be, I don't know, Rav this and this and this, and the Rebbe this and this will be the Gana Matkal, and whatever it is, it still won't solve the problem. Because what the main issue that the people that are far is, you don't understand that the whole issue for the Haredi community, some are closer, some are further, the whole issue is anything which doesn't involve looking at the Kodesh Baruch Hu and learning Torah is not negia, is irrelevant. I have time for it, I'm rich, I'm a billionaire, whatever it is. This rabbi they said that there's a guy, he's a billionaire. He's a young guy in America, he's a real estate, whatever it is, a billionaire. And Rosh Yeshivas, whatever it is, they come to him and they wait online to get money, whatever it is. And he said that he spoke to him on the telephone. This is the guy who's building an empire. And this rabbi speaks to him and he says, you're building and I'm building, and he's building a mosque, whatever it is, let's build together. He said that he was met in silence from the other side, from this billionaire guy. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm just making money. Those people are waiting online for me. That's the tachlis. This is what needs to be done. You're saying I'm not building anything. I'm making money. The real askafa is the army, not the army, the whole halach yelach of your life that you're trying to entice me with is don't put a Kodesh Baruch Hu and the Torah, as the only thing. And you can't do that. You can't do that. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is the one and only thing. The Torah is the one and only thing. The Tzaddikim is the one and only thing. Okay, so beseder. So some guys are better than others. I have titles for this and titles for that, and this and ambitious for this and beseder. But the entire Haredi world, as a piece, is about Yiddishkeit. It's about the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Everything else is just a light. Everything is it's basically irrelevant. It's just to make it possible. I believe it more, I believe it less. I leave it more, I leave it less. Whatever. This is the Haredi world. And there's no way that you can get this. Truth be told, if the Haredim and the Dati Leumi people would get together, they will have over 50 mandates in the Knesset. Most of the people, even not from people, have Emunah in the Kodesh Baruch Hu today. We need Beis Hamikdash. We need Beis Hamikdash. We need Beis Hamikdash to be able to see. Because I'm telling you that when we, Bezrat Hashem, will see, everything else around the world is just a joke. Just a joke. אני אחזור לך בעוד דקה. בעזרת השם, שיהיה good Shabbos, and בעזרת השם, נזרח בעזרת השם, being in Beis Hamikdash soon nowadays, and הלוואי that you and me and the rest of us will be able to shed a tear in Kippur, Tisha B'Av.
I think next week, it's on Thursday, right? So
No, I mean, we can do after, maybe later.
break the fast here,
I have to become done, no?
right?